All right, guys, we are here today at the new Yaupon Brothers facility in Edgewater, Florida, where they're going to be doing a lot of their production, and there's also a retail spot to come.
We're going to have a, what do you call it, agricultural tourism component involved with it?
Exactly, yep. You get, you can come get a tea or you can shop or whatnot, but it's a great location here in Edgewater, Florida, and we're going to meet up with one of the owners, Bryon, today. He's going to tell us a lot about his business and where Yaupon Brothers came from and where they plan on going.
So right now we're in the shipping receiving section of the soon to be completed building. So we're very excited for them. And then they're gonna have some more farmland that you'll be able to, like Tim mentioned, be able to go back and actually see the Yaupon hollies and then come here and actually enjoy the tea and see the process of how it actually comes to fruition from harvesting to actually drinking the tea itself.
Before we go further, if you like the videos that we've been putting out, remember like, subscribe, follow White Wheel Real Estate. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and obviously Facebook as well. So all the likes and subscribes you give us help us get the exposure that we need for our YouTube channel.
All right, guys, so we are here today with Bryon White, one of the owners of Yaupon Brothers Tea. We're so excited to be here. But Bryon, thanks for having us. We're in front of one of your new buildings here in Edgewater.
Yeah, thank you.
So Yaupon Brothers, where does the name come from?
Yeah, so Yaupon is a plant that grows here naturally in Florida and all throughout the Southeast. It's really special and unusual because it's the only caffeine-containing plant species in America. So we import all of the tea we drink in America. It comes mostly from China and East Africa and India, thousands of miles away. We import 250,000 tons of tea every year. We drink 150 million cups of tea every day. So Yaupon is not tea, right? So it's not from China, it's not from India, it's from here. It grows here naturally. It's been consumed by indigenous people for at least 8,000 years, and we make products from it. We make tea from it. We market it as an American tea because it's delicious, it's healthy, it's good for you, and it's grown here. So that's where the name comes from.
All right, perfect. So it's the Yaupon holly.
Yeah.
And then, so that comment you made, a couple like big kind of things that you just kind of glossed over is the amount of consumption that Americans drink. And then so just kind of talking about the carbon footprint of having to import that tea from China or out overseas in general.
Yeah.
What does that look like compared to just
drinking
tea made in America?
I have a lot to say about that. I'll just gloss over it.
Right.
So I mean, think about
notes.
Yeah, think about it. We import 250,000 tons of tea every single year, and most of it, by the way, is cheap, crappy, dusty old tea bag.
Right.
And it's cheap because it's produced by people who live in a standard of poverty that we would not accept for ourselves, for our friends, for our families. So that's the first thing. The other aspect is, think about a tea bag that you're gonna dunk in your hot water and drink. We've moved that tea 8,000 miles to get here on a ship that burns, heavy oil to get here. So think about all that carbon that's used. And then at the end of the chain, at the end of that long journey, all of that carbon that's been burned to transport that cheap, crappy tea here, you're gonna dunk it in hot water and immediately throw it in the garbage. Yeah. So I mean, it's really an extravagant example of wasteful consumerism. So what we've done with Yaupon is we've offered a locally grown alternative to tea that does the same thing for you that tea does. It's caffeinated, just like tea. It's good for you, has tons of antioxidants, just like tea.
Which is great because that's what you guys are trying to help do as well, is bring back the Florida crops and make it more economic sense-wise for farmers to start growing again, because of citrus isn't really super viable, especially after all the freezes. So the Yaupon has the durability to maintain the harsh heat and the salt water and things like that in Florida. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, citrus, most Floridians do not even know this, but citrus is not a native crop in Florida. Citrus was brought here by the Spanish hundreds of years ago, but originated in China. But Yaupon offers a little bit of a more durable solution because Yaupon's native to Florida. It doesn't need all of this ridiculous special care. I mean, everything requires some, but I think Yaupon is maybe for citrus growers that still want to grow crops.
Sure.
I think a lot of them are happy to call you guys up and be like, come buy my land, or sell it. For a lot of people that are in the farming business, it's not just a revenue stream, it's a way of life.
Sure.
And in Florida with citrus growers, they've been doing it for generations.
Right.
You know, and they don't want to, some of them do not want to lose that.
Yeah.
So I think
keep true to their roots and their heritage. And
yeah. I mean, they like the way of life and they don't want to lose that. So
talking about that, you guys, as far as how you harvest your Yaupon, do you have farms? Are you working with the community to grow Yaupon holly? How does that work out? And I know you aren't using any pesticides, and you're all pretty much, sounds like wild harvest and organic across the board with it all.
Yeah, so Yaupon Brothers is 100% certified organic. We have an agreement with the city of New Smyrna Beach. We manage 70 acres of land on the beach side along Saxon Drive. We harvest wild Yaupon on that land sustainably. We do not damage or kill the trees because obviously we want them to keep
producing
making
the
leaves,
Yaupon,
you know. And in exchange for that, we do two things. The first thing is we help control invasive plant life like Brazilian pepper. So when our harvesters are in there working, they're also busting out some Brazilian pepper. We can't use herbicides, so we can't kill the pepper. It does come back, but we're able to kind of control it, mitigate its spread a little bit. And also we have certified that whole parcel as organic through the USDA's National Organic Program.
Right.
So that land is a natural buffer between a residential area and the Indian River Lagoon ecosystem.
Correct, yes.
So now you have this designated organic strip of land that we have to demonstrate to the federal government has no latent pesticides or chemicals on it. I think it's a great solution anywhere in Central Florida. You know, anywhere along the lagoon, there's tons of Yaupon in those areas. And you know what, if we certify it, it's kind of on us to demonstrate that it's a clean area.
Sure. It seems like it's a win for everybody. The city, you guys, the people in general, to be able to allow the green space to remain in the neighborhoods and not get overtaken by more new home builds and things like that.
Yeah, but we also do have a farming program.
Okay.
So we do create our own trees. We have our own selections or cultivars that we have selected for their desirable traits. So, and we clone those trees in a facility in Apopka, and then we either sell or donate them to local farmers or farmers all throughout the Southeast. I mean, we have farmers from Mississippi and Texas all the way through the Carolinas that grow for us. That's a new part of our business, the agricultural side, but I think it's the future of it.
Sure.
You know, the future of Yaupon is people growing it and harvesting it, possibly even mechanically, to keep up with that demand. Because I think that a farmer that's growing Yaupon is a farmer that is choosing not to grow something else.
Right.
And in all likelihood,
so they're giving to get sort of thing.
Yeah, in all likelihood, it's much better for society and the environment for them to grow the Yaupon instead of the other thing they were going to grow.
Okay.
I mean, 99% of the time.
Sure.
So
talking about growing, let's talk about harvesting. How often do you go to harvest a plant, and then what does that process look like from we go out to pick the leaves off the Yaupon holly to we get to be sitting at home drinking it?
It's a labor-intensive process.
Okay.
So right now, most of the leaves are harvested by hand. So our harvesters are actually going in there and hand plucking these leaves.
Wow.
And we harvest right now about 10,000 pounds a year. So it's a lot, it's a lot of work. Think of a handful of leaves does not weigh very much, right? But they're harvesting the leaves.
1 ounce at a time.
Yeah, most of them are getting, 20, 30 pounds of leaves a day.
Okay.
Our harvesters on average make $20 to $25 an hour.
Sure.
So they're making a good wage. They're bringing the leaves to our facility here in Edgewater. We will grade the leaves, we'll wash and sanitize the leaves, and then they get laid out on what's called a withering trough, where they live for 3 to 4 days until we bring them down to a low moisture content.
Okay.
And then they're milled, so we grind the leaves down to a small particle size, and then the vast majority of our leaves go into tea bags or sachets. And we're really unusual because our tea bag paper is totally free of plastic.
Oh, wow.
No plastic in our tea bag paper. The internal pouch that looks like plastic is actually PLA, which is a plant-based bioplastic. So in our EcoTube, there's no plastic.
Nothing at all. And this is what I really love about the Yaupon Brothers is that when they say they're organic, they are truly organic all the way around. It's so deceiving, especially now, and I'm sure you'll agree with the labels out there that say you're organic, but when you really go through the process, you're not really truly organic.
There's so much greenwashing. It's like what you're referring to is people can't trust labels, they can't trust products that claim to be things that they're not. We're so aware of that that, we have a digital storytelling component on our packaging. So our customers can scan a QR code and it will totally take them through the entire process so that they can understand how these things are made and see it.
Right.
It's so important, and plus, I think the fact that everything we do is done here in America, it just adds another layer of transparency to it. It's like, okay, if I tell you, oh, my organic tea is grown in the Western Ghats of India, well, who is really going to go and check on
exactly.
you?
It's going to be hard to fact check.
Yeah, and verify. I mean,
that,
so much of what we do is about eliminating intermediaries.
Right.
Like I look at the food system in America as an inverted pyramid. So you have a pyramid, and you have farmers at the bottom, and you have consumers at the top. And at the bottom, the farmers, they shoulder all the risk, they do all the work, they spend all the money, and they get the least amount of profit out of everybody.
Right.
And when we contract with a farmer, the agreement is, we'll give you the trees, we want to buy all of your output. So you only deal with us, and we only deal with the customer. So there's no intermediaries. It's the farmer, it's us, it's the customer.
Which is, again, great for everybody because the customer knows they're getting the quality, and then the farmer knows that they're going to be taken care of by you as well.
It's like you and Zillow, right?
Right. We don't talk about that relationship. So we've gotten through the process. We know where the trees come from. Only naturally caffeinated. Yaupon holly in North America it's naturally caffeinated. And where do we buy it? So can we online, brick and mortar?
We love for people to go to our website, which is yauponbrothers.com.
And we'll leave a description below that'll take you right directly to the Yaupon Brothers website.
And then a big thing is we love local, independent retailers. Like you can find us at Island Roasters, you can find us at Heath's Natural Foods, you can find us at Love Whole Foods in both Port Orange and Ormond, a whole laundry list of other places. And about 3 weeks from now, we launch in Whole Foods. In Florida. Yeah, so if you're around a Whole Foods, you'll be able to find us there as well.
You are starting to expand, and I think you were on QVC, and they're still going to be on QVC?
Yeah, so we've expanded. We formed a new company called Ilex Organics, which is our parent now. So Yaupon Brothers is underneath that umbrella of Ilex Organics. Still the same people, same infrastructure, and change. But we just expanded regionally. So we have an office in the Mississippi Delta now. We have a brand that's Mississippi-based, or more broadly Southern. That's called Yazoo Yaupon. You can find Yazoo Yaupon on QVC. You can still buy it on there now. We have a Christmas box.
All right, excellent.
But Yazoo Yaupon is more of the quirky, fun flavors, where Yaupon Brothers is more of the holistic, organic, natural. But they're both natural, but it's like fun flavors, oh, this one tastes like apple pie, and this one is a peach, and it's just more creative and different. Yeah.
Bryon, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Guys, remember to check out their website directly. We'll leave a link, and we look forward to seeing you in next week's video. Thanks, Bryon.
Cool.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.